They say 5 a.m. is too early, but for the few who understand, 5 a.m. is not a time on the clock. It's a mindset. It's a declaration to the world that you are not like the rest, that you don't need comfort, that you're done waiting while the world sleeps under the illusion of tomorrow. The 5 a.m. mind is already working, moving, creating. You rise, not because you have to, but because something deep inside you refuses to let you sleep through your potential. You see, 5 a.m. isn't just about waking up, it's about waking up from who you were. It's not the alarm that pulls you out of bed, it's your hunger, your disgust with average, your refusal to be one of the people who almost made it. The 5 a.m. mindset doesn't snooze, it doesn't second guess, it doesn't beg for motivation. It is a declaration of war against laziness, weakness, and every excuse that has tried to seduce you back into mediocrity. At 5 a.m. the world is quiet. There are no distractions, no opinions, no noise. It's just you and your decision to build or to sleep, to evolve or to repeat. And make no mistake, every morning you choose to sleep through your greatness. You're choosing your future. Because while you sleep, someone else is training, someone else is studying, someone else is building a life that you say you want, but aren't willing to suffer for. The question is not whether success is possible. The question is whether you're willing to do what most won't, for a life most will never have. The 5 a.m. mindset is forged in discomfort. You must be willing to feel tired. You must be willing to be misunderstood. You must be willing to be alone. Most people won't understand why you get up so early. Let them laugh, let them doubt, let them call it obsession. You're not here to be understood. You're here to become undeniable. Because one day the same people who said you're doing too much will ask how you did it. You don't rise early for applause. You rise early because you made a promise to yourself that you would no longer betray your potential, that you would no longer hide from your purpose, that you would meet the version of you who doesn't flinch in the face of effort. You don't chase motivation anymore, you build discipline. You build rituals, and those rituals become your identity. Not a person who wants results, a person who earns them. Every morning you beat the sun out of bed. You are planting seeds of transformation. Maybe the results won't show today. Maybe they won't show for months. But they will come. Because effort compounded with time is the law of the universe. Success doesn't respond to how you feel. It responds to consistency, hunger, and unshakable belief. And belief is not built at noons. It's built in the darkness when it's cold, when it's silent, when no one's watching but your own soul. So the next time your alarm goes off at 5 a.m. and you feel that wave of resistance, smile. Because that feeling is the gatekeeper. That feeling is the price. And the version of you that stays in bed will never meet the version of you that was supposed to lead. Rise anyway. Move anyway. Win anyway. Because discipline is not about doing what's easy. It's about doing what is required, even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. Don't just wake up, but awaken. Awaken your fire. Awaken your future. You want a different life? Then do what different people do. Do what disciplined people do. Get up. Get focused. Get to work. You're not tired. You're just addicted to comfort. Break it. Break your old pattern. Break your old identity. And build yourself, one 5 a.m. at a time. You were not born average. So stop living like... And here's the truth they don't tell you. The transformation doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen in a week. It happens in silence, in routine, in repetition. You show up early before anyone else, because that's where the edge is. That's where the gap is created between the dreamers and the doers. You start stacking wins when the world hasn't even had its coffee yet. You get 1 hour ahead, then another, then another. And soon, you're not just ahead of the competition, you become the competition no one else can touch. 5 a.m. is where you separate your emotions from your actions. You feel tired, but you run anyway. You feel uninspired, but you create anyway. You feel small, but you move with the vision of someone massive. Because in the end, your emotions are not the leaders of your life. Your standards are. And if your standard is greatness, then you act like it. Every single day. No matter how you feel, that's what builds legacy. Not comfort, not motivation. Relentless, soul-driven consistency. You start to realize while most are busy reacting to the world, you're creating it. While they're reaching for the snooze button, you're reaching into your future. The books you read, the silence you sit in, the reps you grind through, the journal you fill with strategy and fire. This is how empires are built, not in chaos, but in clarity, not in speed, but in stillness followed by purpose. That's the 5 a.m. way. And if you're sitting there thinking, but I'm not a morning person, understand this. You were also not born with discipline. You built it, or you avoided it. Being a morning person is not in your DNA. It's in your decision. It's in how badly you want to change. It's in how sick you are of your own excuses. The pain of staying the same has to become heavier than the weight of getting up. That's the pivot. That's the moment where transformation begins. You'll be tested. There will be mornings your mind will whisper every excuse in the book. It's cold, it's too early. You can skip just one day. But that's when you decide who's in control, your weakness or your will. And every day you win that war, you get stronger. Not just physically, mentally, spiritually. You start walking into rooms differently, talking differently, thinking differently, because you know you've already done what 98% of people will avoid their entire life, showing up for themselves. At 5 a.m., you don't just build habits, you build a reputation with yourself. That reputation becomes your identity. That identity shapes every choice you make, and those choices create your destiny. That's how deep this goes. One morning at a time, you're carving out the character of someone unstoppable. You don't just change your schedule, you change your story. You start showing up like someone who's already living their vision. Because energy doesn't come from sleep alone, it comes from alignment, from living a life that matches your values, your ambition, your potential. You'll notice something else too. Your anxiety fades, your overthinking slows down. You become grounded, focused, fierce, because the first hour of your day doesn't belong to the world. It belongs to you. 5 a.m. is your edge. It's your advantage, the sacred time where winners are made in the dark, while the rest of the world dreams. You're becoming the dream. So now the question isn't, can I wake up early? The real question is, how much longer are you willing to sleep on your potential?